Alright, say you ran into the problem where this cap is stuck on there. You would pull the screw and the wedge out and then just pull the whole tube cap attached out. Now the only thing is the spring in that will still be in there, so you be very careful. Get the tube out of the gun, and then the spring in that will be in there. Pull it out gently, trying not to get it caught or damage it. And then basically put some penetrating oil. And if you notice, there's two pieces here. So put some penetrating oil on the cap, set it aside for a while, let it soak in, and then grip this other piece. Don't grip the tube here. And try to grip it somehow and then break it loose is what I did. I more or less got a hold of it here. Either you put this in a padded vise or something and try to turn this a little with a wrench gently without tearing everything up, and then get the cap loose. Because you don't want to have the cap stuck on there and try to reassemble it. You'll catch the spring. It could be done, but it leaves the door open for damage. Okay, and then we go remove our band. Next band is the middle barrel band. Go to this side here. Now this is one of them deals where you turn the screw and you turn it opposite. You turn it right to loosen. You just turn the screw in, it spreads out the middle barrel band, and then the middle barrel band is removed like this. Just slides off. Make sure you got it off all the way. Remember, turn to the right to loosen, left to tighten. So I've seen people try to turn left and loosen and destroy these on different guns. Okay, next up is the rear barrel band. There's a spring, it locks with a pin into this little tab. You just depress that and that should slide right off. The little pin locks into the hole. Off this goes. Okay, there are two screws, a lower and an upper, holding the action in. Now you can loosen this, and if you watch, it's under a little bit, it'll move. A little bit of a tension to it. See, it starts to pop out, so you probably want to loosen the both of them, not to pull on the trigger guard. Get the one screw out, it's pretty short. And this one here in the back's the long one. Get this one out. And we'll be able to get the action out of the gun. Now we're not going to disassemble this totally like I did with the Kropachek, and I'll show you why once we get this action out. Got our screws loosened, gently lift this out. Here's your trigger guard. Now your action should just kind of drop that screw out of there. Your action should just come right out of the stock. Now if we look at this action as compared to the Kropachek, there's a lot of little delicate flat tempered spring things in here, and it's pretty much wide open. You know, the other rifle, this was all enclosed and this mechanism wasn't exposed, and you know, when the lifter comes down, this here is pretty much all open, and you can clean this, clean all the stuff out if you have problems without really having to go further into disassembling this. But say you do have to disassemble it, I'll give you some advice. I'm not going to do it, and I'll explain why. There's a lot of tempered flat springs in here. This here is all tempered. So basically, what you'd probably want to do to disassemble this is remove this screw here, and then this tempered flat piece will come off, and then the magazine cutoff switch, which is this here, probably just slides out. So once you get that exposed, the way this trigger mechanism works is there's a spring in here, and I believe you can see the pin here, the small end. Then on the opposite side, you see where it's up in here. It has a wider end. So you'd want to drift this pin from this side here out, but then, you know, this is a spring-loaded thing. This has pressure on there. It'll probably be difficult to get back in. So that's why it doesn't warrant being disassembled, so I'm not going to tempt fate. And also here, you have these springs control the with the lifting thing. You'd probably want to put this lift gate or floor plate down, release the tension on this, and then this has to be drifted out. This pin will be drifted out. This part of the spring would be removed, and you can unscrew this and remove this part. And then probably the final thing would be to take these two screws out, and then the actual floor plate net itself would come out. But as you could see from the way this is, you could get in there and clean this using sprays, carburetor cleaner, a little brush and that. You really don't have to disassemble this much more. And I wouldn't, these parts are over 100 years old, and you know, it'd be hard if you break something. Yeah, I don't know, your action might be gummed up. It really probably wouldn't be worth it. If you can clean it without any further disassembly, that's great.